Welcome back. So, I wasn't really expecting the series to do that well for everyone to be coming at me, like that, and stating that, hey, everyone needs help. Um, anyways, while I was gone, I took a little hiatus because me and Mama Zilla have created a baby Zilla, so I've been busy with that, taking on the fatherly role, and yeah, that was pretty fun. It was quite the experience and quite the journey, but I'm excited. So, anyways, where we left off is there's gonna be some changes, huge changes. I'm gonna the videos that you have recently seen up into I think we're on the 48th, I think, but we're gonna do a little huge change on the code. But I know some of you in the Discord have been stating that the time advance button, whenever you click it, this whole thing gets erased. It should not be erasing at all if you click it. So if you click it, as you can see, it shouldn't be erased at all. And then of course, the reset time of day disappear. So if you are having issues with this time of day um, icon or whatever disappearing on you, please let me know. Reach out in the comments. But as far as the code goes, let's get into this. All right. So you should see something like this. That's from the last episode. Um, as I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and change a lot of things. Um, don't hate me, but let's just go ahead and grab all of this and just delete. Get that out of there. Um, why this was here in the first place was pretty much just a stepping stone on what we can create. This right here does pose issues. Um, because if we just say, hey, let's just create this introduction and this conflict and additional, sub chapters, and if we continue on this path, it's just gonna be a stacked, chaotic mess. As one of the lovely people on my Discord channel was pointed out, that it is gonna be a very hectic and stupid mess. So again, for clarity reasons, um, let's just get this fixed and pushed off to the side and thrown in the trash because nobody likes it. The thing that I do want to do is, of course, this is going to be the main point into it, and when deleting this whole set of code, obviously it's going to break. Hopefully it doesn't break, but if we play the game and everything and it may break other aspects of other code, we will address that as we progress. So let's go ahead and just get started on this. Let's create a class and we're going to call it event. Bam, bam, and as always, we're going to initialize it. Self, name, conditions, action. I want to have a priority to it. If I could spell priority, priority is equal to 0. And unique. So what unique is, what I want to do is, actually true. What unique is going to be is, for example, if you want to have a side quest or a side event or an optional that's not a part of the main story, if it's set to false, that event is repeatable until it's completed. But if it's set to true, it only acts once and you cannot access the event again unless you start the game over, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's go to self. name is equal to name. Oops. Self.conditions is equal to conditions. And self-explanatory, I'm sure you can understand what the this is gonna do. So priority is equal to priority. Self.unique is equal to unique. And self.completed is equal to false. Okay. Now that we've set the initialize, let's create another definition. Define is triggered. Self. And then we want KWArgs. What this does is, like I mentioned, it checks if all the conditions are met for this event. And it's going to return not self.completed. And all condition CORARGs, whatever, for condition and self.condition. Cool. We need a trigger now because we need to, after it's been triggered, we need to have a trigger for it. So that's going to be self. Oops. And as I mentioned, it triggers the event action and marks it as complete if unique. So we're going to do Ren'Py call in new context self.action. So what this does, it's going to call it in a new, it's like Ren'Py call, or the call function instead of the jump function. It jumps to a label. This is just calling it in a new context. And if self.unique self.completed is equal to true. Cool. We got that class set. Now we want to create a class event manager. And what the event manager does, as I've wrote out, it manages a list of events, checks the conditions, and triggers the events. So, as always, let's go ahead and initialize it. Self.events. It is going to be a list. We're also going to do add event. It's going to be self and event. And as I mentioned, it adds a new event to the manager, which is in this list. So it's going to be self.event events.append event. Now we're going to check events. And it's going to have QUARGs, however you pronounce that. So what the check events does is that it's going to check all the events and queues those conditions, that are met, and executes them one by one. So I'll explain this later on, what this does, but pretty much I want to make a queue system. For example, like for the priority, if you have one event that is at a 10 priority, which is, of course, the highest priority gets, set first, or it is, or I think this is the first one, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If some events have the same numbered priority, and if it's in the queue, it's still gonna act. It's still gonna execute those events one by one. Because if we do not have this queue section, if we do not have this set in place, and if an event does have the same priority, like one event has priority 10 and another event has priority 10, it's only going to call one of them, and then it's going to just skip over the other one. And we don't want that. So this fights that. This counters it, I should say. So events, gonna make that into a list. Checks all events and adds triggered ones to the queue. And it's gonna be a for loop. It's gonna look in the events. The key is gonna be lambda a dot priority reverse is equal to true. And if you need the explanation on what that does, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be I would happy to explain what this does. I'm trying to do this for the console. It helps me so I can see if it works or not, and it should. Event.name. Okay. Trigger events dot append it to the list. I'm gonna have another for loop. Event in triggered events. Event dot trigger. Easy as that. So now let's go ahead and create a test function. I'm gonna do init Python right here. No, actually, hold on. Init Python. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna create an event manager. Grab that. I'm going to do a little test action. And I'm going to go Ren'Py.jump. And I'm going to say test event label. Okay. We also need to add the event as well. So go to event manager.add event. I'm going to show you how to create one of these. So it needs a name. Let's call it test event. Conditions. Since this is gonna be I'm gonna say test condition true. I'm gonna create something for that. I just want to make sure that this is working properly. Test event label. Same as this one. It's going to be a priority 10, let's just say. Okay. And then at the bottom, let's just create a label called test event label. This is the test event label. Cool. So you should have all this right now. I'm going to go ahead and open up script. And we need to put something in the script. see about that. I'm gonna go ahead and knock this. Oops. I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out. This is no bueno anymore. I'm gonna put this right here. We're gonna say event manager dot check events. Cool. Let's go ahead and check that out. Yep, and as you can see, there's a lot going on. So because we got rid of that, that obviously we got rid of it. So the chapter defines this is gonna mean nada anymore. So let's go ahead and erase that. Try this again. Chapter management test condition is not true. Oh yeah, I didn't make that, did I? Yeah, I did not make that. My bad, guys. Let's go ahead and do that then. Define test condition is true. Return true. Okay. Bam. Okay. This is the test event label. There it is. That works. Hide screen. Okay, I'll get that fixed later. But yeah, so as this is happening, guys, this is what's going to happen going forward. We're going to go ahead and add in a lot of conditions, such as what time of day it is, what's the game day, what's depending on like conditions are met, like okay, can a certain event happen after another event is finished? So many things that we need to work towards this and get this finished. I am going to go ahead and clean up this game, this to make it more streamlined and everything like that. So far for what we have built up, guys, I apologize if this is a big change on this. I do want to make it more streamlined and everything, and I apologize if that breaks any of your games following the chapter. The chapters and subchapter code, but I believe that was going to be chaotic since it was stacking. Elsif is stacking, so this is going to be a far better approach. But again, if you do have any questions or anything that you do need help with, please put it in the comments below. If not, follow the join our Discord channel, and then we can answer questions there as well. If you did find this video helpful, please give it a like, comment again, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.